I really wanted to make a video because I think it's important to talk about this concept in some detail. And I think we have to talk about the fact that Black people are just too underdeveloped. They're too underdeveloped to the point where we can certainly see that they cannot manage or maintain a decent civilization. It's just not possible. Let's give a hypothetical. Suppose that Black people were to be very fed up with white oppression, as they call it, and how white people aren't treating them as well as they think they should be treated. And they're given land. They're saying, okay, we'll give you this deserted island. Make of it what you will, and you can have your freedom there. And I would imagine many Blacks would be very enthusiastic at such a proposal and move in mass to try to develop that land. But I tell you, you give them 2, 3 years, it won't go anywhere. It won't go anywhere. They're gonna kill each other. The structures aren't going to be built. Probably halfway through, they quit and they give up. And then by then, they're going to be whining and crying about how no one's doing anything for them and how, they need help and how they were put here by force and this wasn't their doing and they were tricked and someone was trying to help them. And then, they would be a victim and there would be world condemnation from people saying, "How could you do this to these people?" And then you're going to have a group of people who are going to have to go down there and help them build something, and they're going to build some type of structure, some type of civilization there. And before you know it, the Black people will start bragging about how they built it, how they did it, and how great they are, and be so arrogant about it, and not be grateful at all for the help. And that pretty much is how it would go. It's pretty much how it would go. Um, we have to look at Black people right now as a bunch of petulant children who don't want to grow up. They just don't want to grow up. They don't want to do it. Uh, they want to be pampered to. They want to be babied. They don't want to be held accountable for their actions. They want a parent who can take responsibility for them. And here we are, angry about slavery, angry about racism, but the attitude that Black people have, just the childishness, leads to slavery and racism. A child in a lot of ways is a slave of the parent. A person who doesn't want to take responsibility for their life will be a slave of those who do want to take responsibility for their own life and for the life that they now have under their control. I just think we need to change the conversation and be much more deliberate about how we go about dealing with Black people. Because if you keep enabling this behavior, it's going to continue until it reaches a point where it's so insufferable, so intolerable that it's going to wreck society. But that pretty much is what would happen if Blacks were to have their own island, have their own land. It wouldn't go anywhere. And that's a problem. And we need to address it. You need to address it. No more avoiding the conversation.